This is Stay Paid, a sales and marketing podcast on a mission to help you close more deals and retain more business.
Welcome to another Silver Dollar episode of Stay Paid, the best sales and marketing tips of your week in 15 minutes or less. My name is Joshua Stike.
And I am Luke Acree.
And Luke, the holidays are here. And for a lot of business owners, that means showing appreciation for your clients. One of the best ways, and something we've been consistently hearing our top producers that come here on the show doing, is to host a client appreciation event. It's amazing. I think we've heard it more this year than any year previous.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it's because people are coming back in person and like people are able to get together again, but it's been a really, really eye-opening hearing how many top producers are actually doing this in their business. So in this episode, we're going to break down the best practices for client events, some examples that you can choose from, and ultimately how to follow up after the event. But I kind of wanted to start with some of the benefits of what having a client appreciation event actually does for your business and for, sort of your lead generation as well.
Yeah, the currency of business is relationships. You're going to hear us say that over and over and over again. There's nothing that replaces face-to-face, right? And so the problem that you have with your database is that you're communicating with them through email, through text, through mailers, right? But you rarely get to see them face-to-face. You really rarely get that interaction.
Yeah.
Client events are such an incredible way to build that relationship, which that will turn into top-of-mind awareness. That will turn into more trust. That will turn into more a steady stream of referrals or people actually coming back and using you again.
Yeah, the top-of-mind awareness is so key from the standpoint of if you see a picture of someone, you see an email from somebody, you see their photo printed, that's one way to gain top-of-mind awareness. But to really have a mind share in those clients' minds, meeting them face-to-face in person is huge. So you've got that steady stream of referrals available to you if you're scheduling out those client appreciation events over the year. Boost your credibility, like you mentioned. You connect with clients in more of a relatable way.
Yeah.
So, think about financial services. If you're always talking about finances with your client, that's such a technical, high-level sort of conversation versus meeting them on an even playing ground, just talking about life. And then ultimately, clients that feel appreciated by you will stay with you.
It will trigger reciprocity on an even bigger level than gifts that you send, because when they see you face-to-face and you're throwing an event for them or doing something for them and the ideas that we're going to talk about, they want to give back to you. They want to.
You are investing more than just your dollars. You're investing your time.
Also,
that will become apparent.
Great way to get reviews. Great way to get video testimonials.
That's perfect.
Great way to really collect information on the clients that you don't have information on. So addresses, email addresses, social media stuff. You use your client event, and we can transition into really best practices, but get prepared. You have an opportunity face-to-face with Josh, your client, to get the address maybe you don't have for him, literally to be able to get to know him better.
Love that. So here's some best practices. I actually pulled these from the advisorcoach.com. So these aren't just specifically related to financial services. I saw some in real estate that had similar ideas as well. But one of the things that we're not an expert in is throwing events. So this was an opportunity to kind of pull in some of the other experts that we've heard from on the podcast, as well as what you can find out there on the web. But one of the things I thought was really important was getting the timing right. So this is a huge one from the standpoint of December might be a slow month for your business, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a slow month for your clients. That's something to consider when putting together your client events. Knowing your clients' demographics and their interests is huge from the standpoint of actually choosing what type of client event. So I know you coach people on the Ford method. That's one way that you can get the interests from your clients, so that you can go through your database and start figuring, okay, what are some common interests that my clients have? It doesn't have to be one client event to serve them all.
Correct.
You can map out your client events to hit different types of demographics throughout the year.
The Ford method is family, occupation, recreation, dreams. So that recreation is the hobbies. What are they into? The dreams, or what do they enjoy? Right. And that's going to be able to play into your event.
Yeah.
Right. One of the event ideas we're going to give you is a wine night.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think Mark Miner talked about that too, as well as some other stuff. But all your clients that are into wine, they will really enjoy that. There was a great event idea. I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but a great event I heard on the Tom Ferry podcast where this real estate team literally did tacos and tequila at their open house. What a great event.
Yep.
Tacos and tequila. Anybody who's into tacos, which I am, and tequila, which I am,
well, the family,
I would show up to that.
You mentioned, you kind of hit on occupation and dream. Family is so important too, because if you have a lot of families, and I think I have this tip written down here, but it's really making sure that you are goes along to this demographics and interests. Like a happy hour isn't necessarily the best event for families.
Correct.
Because they've got to find a babysitter, they've got to make a ton of plans, they got to figure out how to get out without the kids, versus maybe like an ice cream social, which is a lot more family friendly and something that you could do that hits that demographic as well. So learning about their family and those other pieces is huge during that Ford method. So don't try and pitch or sell. This one we cannot say enough. Don't bring up your business or services unless you're asked, and even then move towards a follow-up meeting to discuss business versus trying to pitch right there at the event. Always allow friends and family. Not only is this a no-brainer from the standpoint of one of your biggest goals here is to get referrals. So having them invite their friends, having them invite their family members, not only would that make them feel more comfortable because they might be going somewhere that they're not, they don't know anybody. So being able to bring their family will help kind of ease that stress potentially, but then also having those friends come along is a great source.
Yeah, I want to make sure people know, like when we say don't pitch or sell, what we mean by that is don't give a pitch of why people should use you, but you still need to say what you do. And that's a very easy thing to do when you are welcoming people to the event or you're getting started and you're just like, maybe everybody's there at this time or something like that. You can still easily stand up and just say, just want to thank all of you for allowing me the opportunity to be part of your life and serving you within real estate. I'm so passionate about it and I love it. And that's why I'm doing this client event. I really, really appreciate all of you and thank you. And I'm looking forward to working with you for years to come.
Great point.
Because what that does is for all the friends and family, they're like, wow, this person really knows what they're doing. This is what they do, all that stuff. But it's a subtle pitch, but it's not pitching like, if you're interested in the rates, if you're interested. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, love it.
So,
another couple ideas, make sure you have tons of business cards available. So I was actually reading some horror stories online about people who would throw client events and then not bring any of their business cards with them. You could also do something if you're a client of Reminder Media. This is a great opportunity to take your branded magazines or a stack of your promotional copies, because that's something that people can have as a giveaway. It also comes across as a nice gift, so it doesn't look like a solicitation. And then probably one of the most important ones is make sure you're planning ahead, creating a calendar so that you can send out plenty of reminders to your clients over the course of the year, both from the perspective of maybe you've got an events page on your website that has a list of your events, but then also it lets you kind of remember to send out if you're meeting with a client, hey, don't forget about my event that's coming up on this date. Wasn't sure if you'd be interested in that. You kind of you'll also learn what piques their interest. So if you're doing a wine tasting or if you're doing a golf event and they kind of lean more towards one than the other, that information is so valuable to have on the interests of your clients.
Yep. Love it.
So we teased a couple event ideas. We've talked about them already. I would say probably the strongest interview that we've had and the one that made us go, wow, was Mark Miner. He was episode 275. He does a golf event. Does he do it multiple times a year?
Yeah, he does it multiple times a year.
Multiple times a year, but he will actually, genius. He'll partner up with businesses and vendors to basically pay for his client event, because he'll get a golf course. Each company has like a hole that they can sponsor or something like that, or they can have their wares there at the event as well. He does the opening comments, like you said. He kind of does like a big thing. He creates this by invitation only, like this very exclusive event feel for his golf event. And then instead of walking around and trying to pitch like we talked about, he says he's the cart girl at the golf event. So he doesn't golf with the players. He will actually bring them soda or bring them beer or something like that. And walk around and just talk and introduce himself.
He's a financial advisor. He gets his wholesaler, right? And the company that he obviously does product through to pay. If you're in real estate, you could probably get your lender title company to chip in. It's so easy to get this event paid for. And I absolutely love what he does is basically it's a foursome, right? And you have to invite some friends to make up your foursome.
Yeah.
It's a free round of golf. People want to do it, but the truth is birds of a feather flock together. So if he has a client that he's helping them with their portfolio, chances are the people that they're inviting are probably at similar status levels to them.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity for a referral is so ripe.
And so if you're thinking, oh, wow, how am I going to organize something as big as a golf event? You don't have to do a golf event. Your brother Steven just did a real simple one recently where he gave out pumpkin pies? Yeah,
he gave out pies. He partnered with a local bakery. This is where he took advantage of using this time to really collect information. He got 79 Google reviews. Literally from this event, because he was giving out pies and then asked people to review them if they would be so kind as past clients. He also got video testimonials. He did a giveaway.
How many pies did he give out?
Hundreds. I think he had 200 pies or whatever. But he also did a giveaway, a raffle, where he gave away either a PlayStation or an Xbox. I can't remember. Cool. And then a gift basket from a local business as well. So he made it fun. Another great one that I just saw, Shannon Gillette, she does like 60 million a year. in volume. She's an incredible agent that we interviewed. I can't remember her episode number, but it's awesome. She just did an event where she had a photographer come and she took family photos.
That's
for right,
idea.
It's perfect timing. Yep. Thanksgiving, holidays, people want their Christmas cards going out, all that good stuff. She took family photos. I was following her on Instagram. She had 200 families plus come to get their family photos taken.
Now think about that from a budget standpoint. Like we just had a podcast last week where we talked about your marketing budget and the potential that you could spend on a referral lead. I think the way that we did the math, if you can close a referral at 50%, $9,000 commission, you should be spending 10% on your marketing. That's $900. You can spend $450 for that lead, essentially.
Crazy.
Do that math in your head from the standpoint of what would it cost to hire a photographer? What, for
just for a day?
A day?
And you could probably, no offense to, like, I'm not undermining college students. I'm just saying there's a lot of talented college students, photographers that would want to
the experience.
They want 100%. The experience, and Ariel knows they want the experience, and they'll be happy with paying them $1,000 for the day.
Yeah,
they'd be happy for that. Probably.
And if you're going to get 200 families, you're going to need more than one photographer.
Yeah,
There's
correct.
no way that you're going to be able to have one photographer. I want to meet that photographer that's shooting 200 families
crazy.
in one day.
They did this whole setup, right? I think it was like this balloon setup and everything like that. It was a pretty cool idea.
That's a brilliant idea. I love that. So a couple other ideas. You could do tastings. This would be wine, beer, champagne tastings. You could do ice cream social. We mentioned earlier. Cooking classes might be great for young couples, or if you're in real estate, first time home buyers. So kind of they'd be learning something. A document shredding event would be a perfect thing after the holidays for financial services. Some general themes to think about when choosing your events. You can help your clients learn something new, right? So that's one type of theme that you can go with, like a cooking class. You can share local goods, support local businesses, just like your brother did with the bakery. You could support maybe a pottery class, maybe it's a charity, 5K, supporting a local charity. Creating an atmosphere of quality time and opportunity for feedback. I really love this one because this is where you can maybe do a little bit more intimate events. Yes. So maybe it's a small dinner party at your house. Maybe it's a smaller group of clients for coffee. This is really a great opportunity not only to give back to your clients and bring them together, but then to get that feedback from your clients so that you can learn a little bit more. And then, of course, this idea of creating this VIP environment is really cool.
And then the key here is that after you do the event, you have a prime opportunity to follow up with them. At the very least, text everybody. And you could shoot them a personal video message if you have time, or just literally text them and say, hey, just want to say I really appreciate you coming out to the event. Had a blast. Hope you had a great time. And just really appreciate you as a client.
Probably the thing that people miss the most, and yet that's where the majority of the value is in.
That's where the referrals will come from. And that's where you'll find out from your clients what the level of the relationship is.
100%. Make sure you're including photos from the event when you're reaching back out and doing that follow-up, and then posting on social media. So make sure if you're not, you might want to find someone that can be the one to take the photos and stuff so that you can focus on meeting with your clients, but have someone come in and take photos so that you can post those on social media, tag the people that they're in. They will naturally reshare that with the people that they follow and ultimately see, oh, this is really cool. Your realtor, your financial advisor, whoever, your insurance agent, throws some really neat
You should do 2 events a year, right? You should have a more holiday geared event and then one maybe summer barbecue or spring barbecue or something like that type of event. 2 events a year, you're getting in front of these people. They're inviting friends. Another great idea that we heard from Tony Ray Baker was, if you don't want to do any of the details, literally go to a hotel and rent out the bar, rent out the hotel bar. He would rent it out for literally like $500,
an open bar for a couple hours for happy hour.
He didn't have to clean up. He didn't have to do anything. He literally just shows up. He would invite his 50 top people. My brother Steven has done this at the local bars in Lynchburg, Virginia, where he rents it out and does a little happy hour thing. He has a Christmas event coming up, so we'll see how that goes.
It's the kind of event that I like. You don't have to clean up.
You don't have to do any of the work.
All right. Thank you so much for listening on our tips for how to throw a client appreciation event. You can head on over to staypaidpodcast.com to get the full show notes as well as the video of this episode. If you like this episode and look for ways to support the show, we'd love it if you subscribe on Apple Podcast. Drop us a review so we can read it here on the show. And the best way to help out the show is to share with a friend and share this episode on your social media. So we were talking a little bit about events, talking about the bar. Sometimes you go to a bar, for events. Sometimes, I'm not saying your client events will go this way, but people might get a little rowdy in the bar. I have a story about these 2 drunk guys in a bar. They were about to get into a brawl. One guy grabs a stick and draws a line in the dirt. And he says, if you cross this line, I'll hit you in the face. That was the punchline.
Yeah. Do you have sound for that one, Ariel? Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. That's the sound. That's the sound we need right there.
If you want to get a hold of me or Luke, you can email us directly at podcast@remindermedia.com. And of course, you can follow us on Instagram. We're at Stay Paid Podcast, where this dad joke will not be featured. For this episode of Stay Paid, I'm Joshua Stike.
And I'm Luke Acree. Here's the action item. Do a client event. Start small. You don't have to invite all your clients. Who are your top 20 advocates? Who are the top 20 people that you wouldn't even mind having a drink with, right? Do it simple. Maybe rent out a bar for a happy hour for an hour and invite them, a hotel for a happy hour and invite them. And you can mingle with them and see the power of the event. Put in some of these best practices. Remember the difference between a top producer and a mediocre producer. Top producers take action. Take action on that today.